titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Yes, hit the buttons, everybody. Shout out to all the people out there in the HUGEnverse, in the Dabbleverse, in any verse that you're in, the WWE universe. Can't forget about them. They're so strong. The AEW Army, is that what they call themselves? Do they have a name? Yep. If you're not in a verse, you're in an army, I guess.
I think they've been demoted to a fan club for now.
Damn. Yep, this is where our fan club is. The link tree, hit all the links. YouTube channel, of course. Like and subscribe here. We need it. We absolutely need it. But you know what, Danny? I've been speaking this into existence. Remember when I was complaining about not being at 200?
Yeah.
We're at 325 right now, folks.
Nice.
Good job, everybody out there. You're making it happen. You're finally hitting the buttons. You notice that I'm not going away. You know, that's a big thing, Danny. It's like being consistent. That 1 week a few months ago or midway through this year where I got very, very ill. I had to take a week and a half off or something. And I lost like 5 or several subscribers. And I'm like, for me, losing like several subscribers, that's like a kick in the balls, you know, at this point. But we are getting there. Things are looking up. Those watch hours. I'm watching the analytics very closely now. We're fucking killing it. We're doing it. That's right. How's that sound today? Sounds pretty good.
Just as terrible as always.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Danny, come on. Let's start it off. Let's get warmed up. Let's start our yeeting like we always do.
G.
And then we stop and you want to roll it back, everybody? What is the chat feeling? Like they want to do it again? Run it back?
G.
Yes. Danny's still not eating everybody.
No. All I hear is a naughty word, and that's all I can hear. So
don't say it. Don't you say it. But yep. Maybe one day. Would you yeet if you like won the lottery?
yeah, do a little dance, but no, I wouldn't yeet.
You wouldn't yeet even if you say you won $5 bajillion, and I said, "Here you go, Danny. Let's celebrate." Yeet. You would just stand there still.
Yeah, I'd look at things to buy. Yeah, sorry.
Wow. See, come on, Danny. Yep. What? Good. Put it on the screen. There we go. Now it's working. Jeez, my fingers. I don't know what's going on. Arthritis. So old, right? So ancient.
50.
50 million years old. All right. So I got a bunch of stuff to talk to you about specifically. We can get a little spicier today because, the sleaze, he can't, he builds war machines and things. And, Jess is, she's a lady. She doesn't want any problems with, the shenanigans that are going on in this world. And I don't blame her for that. I don't blame the sleaze for any of that. Listen, when they say shave your face, sleaze, he's like, how high? Right? I think that's the saying, right? He's like, how high do you want me to shave it? So that's his. But you know what? He'll yeet. Yeet. They both love to yeet. Yep. So we got some yeeting news. We got some, pro wrestling news. A lot of fake sports too, pro sports. What everybody thinks is real sports, which is totally not real. And the glass. I don't know, glass is fully on, off, whatever the saying is with pro sports. I don't believe any of it anymore, Danny. It's really sad. Even with my Patriots and my love of football and basketball and this and that, I know it's fake. So if my team even wins it all, it's kind of like, did they? Did they really? Because it's brutal. But anyway, first things first. This John Cena fallout. I know you saw, or you must have seen some highlights or heard of what's gone on. The way he went out, the explanation behind it. Have you heard that, Danny? The explanation?
No. I just saw the finish to the match.
I'll give you a quick, review. It's basically, this is John Cena passing. They're saying, it's like when you're dying. And that's what his character did. And it was treated very much like a funeral and all the rest. And it's like the guy's, he's not dead, obviously, but it's like the character, they really went into it like that. To me, as much as I watch and everything, and I understand what they're trying to do, it comes off like he was just like, all right, let's get this over with. I'm getting choked out now. I'm going to smile and expose the business again. Like, how dare these people expose the business every fucking week now? And then they are preaching tradition to Dr. Huge. It's tradition to do this, but we're going to have Unreal shows. What do you think, Danny?
Yeah, I saw the finish to the match, and I like we said last week, or like I called last week that he would get submitted. I thought they'd go for the passing out, sort of like, so you can, he has that to fall back on where he could be like, well, I didn't tap, but, my body gave up, sorry. But the fact that he had that look on his face and then tapped, there was no sense of urgency of like, oh my God, I'm in pain or anything like that. So it made the tap out look really fake and really stupid and staged. And I get where they were going, for Christ. On One Piece, like every time most people fucking die on that show, they've got a smile on the face when they're trying to put across like that they died free. So I'm not like unfamiliar with what he tried to do, but it was just the weak sort of tap. It made Gunther look a bit shit, and it just made the whole thing look fucking hokey. Is the word.
Absolutely. And I think he should have went out more like this. I had to post this right before the show, so I didn't forget. That's how he should have went out right here. Right? In total fear and in horror that he was being choked out by the likes of Gunther. See, because in reality, that's what happens. You don't get to go out, I'm smiling and, I'm on my deathbed with all my grandchildren around. Usually not. Okay, everybody? So if we're going out, generally the face you're gonna get, especially if you're in an athletic supposed, deal going down with this very, very large Austrian guy.
Like, even Brock Lesnar sold that sort of thing. Remember when he was feuding with Samoa Joe and Joe got him with the rear naked choke from behind? Brock Lesnar sold that, oh my fucking god, I'm locked in this awful move by this huge fucking guy, and was like really desperately sort of like trying to make an effort to get out of it, and he couldn't. But then when Cena's just like, smile, I guess it's time to tap now. It's been 7 minutes and 32 seconds or whatever. Whereas there's just no sense of like, shit, I need to tap to stop him fucking choking me. Yeah, it just looked silly. And
Yeah.
Spent too much time in Hollywood, I think, is why he thinks that looked good.
It's my new header, by the way. Where is that? I got to bring it back here. I'm really slow on the take here, folks, but watch this. Look at that. I'm live too right now, and John Cena's watching. He's watching everybody. That's going to stay there probably for a while. What's going to beat that? I think that says it all right there. But my take last week, it was before the actual Saturday night main event. I was like, John Cena should go over, and I pled my case and whatever. And I know nobody was having it. We're all very steeped in tradition. We know what's going to happen. We knew Gunther was in the tournament and was going to win it before the tournament happened, right? And then what is he going to get in there, win it, and then lose? I'm saying that would be exciting to me. It would shake things up a bit more instead of doing the same old, I'm a heel right now, boo me, and it works, right? I don't know why all these people are playing along the way they do with the way that you're exposing the business with the Unreals and all the podcast things. But I really think that it would have been better for everybody in the holiday season to have put John Cena over. Now, like, they put him over all the times when he should have been put over. They should have made more stars with Ziggler and Hager, even if, just throwing names out there, The Miz, or this, or that. But no, he like buried them all. He sent them away in some shapes and forms. And, and now he loses. Oh, because he wants to. He wants to put over the young guys and then this and that. Like, Walter's been around, bro. I still know him as Walter, right? So that's, again, I feel like I was right. I was vindicated when everybody was like, you're a bald fraud, Triple H, and we want Vince chants, and they were booing him, and fuck you chants, and the signs. That warms my heart because, again, I know the people, right? And I know they're going to complain about anything, but I'm telling you, it would have been shocking for John Cena to win. Then he wouldn't have had to have given up, even though he's given up before. But I mean, nobody thinks about the past when it comes to it's right now. And he's selling the merch that says never give up. He holds the towel up every fucking week that says it. So that's the play they should have done. And that's why they need to hire Dr. Hughes. Because I would have told Triple H, I get you're doing tradition and stuff, but that's fucking stupid. And also, Gunther's not in this tournament. What do you think about that whole dissertation I just laid out there?
I can see what you're saying with Cena, and the thing with Gunther is he's put so many people over. I said this last week. He's put Sami Zayn over. He put bloody Jey Uso over, and then the one person who he maybe should have sort of like made look really good was LA Knight, and he beat LA Knight. And then it's like that was unfortunate. And then Gunther's never really had the sort of like push. Granted, he might have had a worse push if Vince was still sort of like wanting him to be a submarine captain or whatever that stupid story was and where the name came from. It could have been worse, I guess, but it wasn't looking good for Gunther. But I thought Cena might have at least seen that and been like, yeah, I'll go out on my back like you're meant to do. And never say never. He's probably going to be back at WrestleMania, to be perfectly honest. He's just not on a... It's going to have retired from having like long stints of like contracts or even just like a year-long contract. He'll just do like single appearances and be like, oh, there we go. I'm not breaking what I said. So... I don't think it's the last we'll see of him. But I do get why you'd think Cena would just bury somebody else. But Gunther had to fucking win that. It's just... He was not doing
I get it. I get it. And of course, I'm not out here complaining and all this stuff like a lot of people were. And fuck Triple H and all this. And I'm not one of those. I get it. Like even Triple H says, I understand, but it's what we do. This is what we do. And I'm like, yeah, but is it what you do? Because again, you're exposing the business 24 hours a day now. Nobody gives a fuck about. There is something about this, Danny. They can put the genie back in the bottle when it comes to pro wrestling. There's not a lot of like intelligent. They really don't care either. They know, everybody knows within 5 years they could make it a lot more old school pro wrestling. I mean, people were upset enough. They kept saying there was a riot after. Nothing close to a riot, but people were upset enough to follow people out into the cars and to scream at their buses or whatever that's taken off. That's what wrestling is. That's the one good thing that came out of it. It won't last very long, I don't think, because they don't really do these types of realistic angles with everybody and try to make everybody superstars. They want to make Gunther a superstar, but the rest of the roster, they're kind of like, doesn't really matter. But that's a whole nother story. I'm just saying, the burying, like I just made that last week.
It doesn't help the other talent when they're all on social media just being like, oh, here's me and my mate who are actually going to be having a match together later on, and here we are just like playing fucking Street Fighter or something on an arcade game we found. And it's like, well, that's not helping your case. If you sort of like keep it really low key with that stuff, or just don't do it at all, or just stay in character all times, you might like have a chance of like the boss being like, hey, we've got an idea for you. So, but I do completely get people griping at Triple H, but not for the reason they did primarily, because they were just upset with the result, thinking, oh, why would you book Cena to lose? If you want to be upset with Triple H, be upset for having a fucking unwatchable product where you get like 90 seconds into something and you can't commit to it because every 90 seconds you're going to get an advert, and then it just breaks it up. Be upset with him for that. Be upset with him for trying to turn it into more of like a chitty chatty gossipy reality TV show because he's the one bloke in a house of four lasses or whatever it is, and he's sort of like gone, there's some money to this chitty chatty celebrity fucking gossipy kind of reality TV, because that's what he's trying to turn your wrestling into whilst filling it with fucking adverts all the time. So be upset with him for that, but just for like John Cena loses to Gunther and Gunther's going to be there the next day, whereas Cena's not going to be about for a bit. It's just to start wanting to boycott WWE now because of that is just as fucking stupid as when people recently wanted to boycott Disney because of the Jimmy Kimmel thing. It's like now is the only time you've wanted to boycott Disney, now because they've like pretended to suspend one of the talent, not because of like everything they've done since the 20s with like kids and it's just fucking stupid.
And speaking of banning, did you hear about the Mick Foley story? He's done with WWE for another year or whatever. He's not going to re-sign his Legends contract until Trump's out of office.
It's just Foley's going to Foley, isn't he?
It's just so like when I was talking with Jess last week, I'm like, yeah, so this is what did it, right? Like what you just pointed out. That's what did it, not the whole files deal that's still going on right now. The drops that happened last night and all the redacted business. It's not because of anything else that's going on that's fishy. It's about him saying the wrong things about Rob Reiner, which is also a nutty story. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, and I can get it. It's not like Reiner never like made any sort of like attempt of like upsetting Trump, and there was that whole violent rhetoric when they're like, and then when people start trying to shoot at you, I mean, pew pew, whatever, and people have said lots of things like called you Hitler and Nazis, and what do you expect?
That's true. I'm listening.
So I'm not saying everyone should just like laugh at Rob Reiner, because you shouldn't, because it's a fucking awful thing that happened. But Trump specifically, I can see why he doesn't give a shit. And yeah, I'm not going to be upset with him. I don't think anyone could be really.
Me, I can't stand really anybody in a political cult or any type of cult. And the way that I saw people going at Charlie Kirk, when I knew of him, I didn't really know everything there was to know about him. But the way people were like, the rest in piss deal and all this, they did with him, and then Trump makes that post he does, and I get he's the president, but hey, he was the president before, and that was wild too, wasn't it? Because like I said, it's like we've gone into an alternate universe around 2012, and I don't know what it is, but everything's really fucking weird. And he's the president, but you got to expect that with him as president. And it's not as bad as a lot of the stuff I saw hurled at Charlie Kirk's direction when he died too. Like it's a similar situation, both like being killed in unnatural ways and things like Reiner and Kirk. But my God, while we're talking, go ahead.
So I was going to say, but it was just Trump, really. When Rob Reiner, when we heard about that, what did I see trending? It was like all of Rob Reiner's films. Even people that didn't like Rob Reiner were just talking about what films of his they really, really liked. And those films were trending on X. With the Charlie Kirk thing, and like you say, people have been fucking awful and laughing and being like, nah, now his wife's got nobody, husband, and the kids. You know what I mean? It's like, what did you need to do that for?
You're right.
And I'm sure, it wasn't everybody, but he just didn't see the same. Yeah. And then, like you say, Trump's the president and maybe should behave a certain way. But I totally understand why he was like, well, he was a fucking twat to me and he wanted me to die, so I'm not going to lose any sleep. I understand it. I'm not excusing it. But
he acts more human than most of the other leaders that we've had or whatever, which is a total. I would have rather have it this way. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that was one of his selling points. So a lot of people like him for that.
And this picture just got me yesterday. I mean, that's because she did it again. She's coming out again. Fireworks and the Elvis suits and the sequins and all of this is nuts. This is Erica Kirk. And then more the information I just keep finding out. And supposedly she had that whole meeting with Candace Owens early in the week, who, believe it or not, I've been telling everybody for months on end, I don't believe her either. I don't believe anybody. I believe what I know and what I can sift through and figure out. But I'll tell you what, I don't believe Erica Kirk. Like 100%. I'm not believing this, Danny. And I'm sorry if that makes me a bad person or whatever to people. It's just my spidey senses are like it goes fucking haywire when I start to see her on screen and stuff. So when I see things like this, I'm like, yes, this is hilarious to me because that's what I see. It's that crazy to me what's going on here. There's so much other stuff I could get into. How about this Jake Paul stuff? I think I can actually play this. Oh my God, I can play this? Let's go. This is for the people on audio. This is Jake Paul fight up against Anthony Joshua and his brother Logan Paul. Very famous in WWE. Part of the vision and all that. He's trolling Anthony right outside the ring. I don't know how it's legal, but chirping is what it says.
Oh, you're the old guy now? That's crazy. Hey, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's 4 rounds left. You've lost every single one of them. You've lost every single round. This could be a legacy ender, AJ. Where you at?
So I didn't see the fight, but from what I gather with everybody out here, they were saying that Joshua didn't look very good in the fight, but Jake Paul ends up getting knocked out. We'll probably see some pictures and stuff of that. Like literally his chin is like going sideways, bloody mouth, acting very like he got concussed after the fight and things. So, I mean, of course, when I first saw this late last night, I'm thinking, this is another ploy. You have to do this, right? So if you're Jake Paul and you're about to set up another fight, because for weeks on end, I'm like, why is everybody treating like this like it's real? It's not real. I think they went 6 rounds. I don't even think he could have gone 6 rounds. I think there were concessions made to both camps to make everybody look strong. But Jake had to be knocked out by Joshua, whether he put his hands down or not, which he kind of did. He just left his hands down for a good minute. He would have knocked him out anyway. The other guy he was about to fight before that got canceled, who let the cat out of the bag in a lot of different ways, is a lot smaller than this guy, like way smaller. So, not saying he was a bad fighter, Tank, but Tank was like, I'm going to fuck you up now, right? And he's like, oh, he's not going to go with the script. So, this was a makeup in my eyes. I'm going to get knocked out so I can keep doing this. Because if I beat him even, or what, it's just nobody's going to buy this. So, what do you think, Danny, about just all this celebrity boxing going down lately?
Part of me's like, fuck it. But then others like, yeah, if people are buying into it and they are just sort of like working the crowd and doing what wrestling started off with doing, then fair play to them. But yeah, I think a lot of it's a lot more work than they're going to admit. But I hadn't seen that. I did notice each of the ropes had a different fucking sponsor on it, though. That's just fucking egregious. I don't think WWE's got that bad yet, but they'll be getting there.
Have you seen this? I saw this, like, this is being passed around like a meme. The British king sitting on a golden throne and a crown with huge jewels talks about cost of living challenges, which this is kind of ridiculous, Daddy, right?
Yeah. Well, every year when now the King's speech, but the Queen's speech before, the Queen did a better job. She wasn't as tactless about it, but they're all there sort of like telling you to like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, it's been a hard year, and it's like, you can piss off. Look where you live, and it's like, you're going to tell us this at Christmas, and yeah, but then when he's on a gold throne, it's just like it's like you're just fucking mocking us now, you bloody sausage fingered prick.
I heard, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it popped in my mind. Isn't there some kind of like stone from Scotland or something that is on the throne or underneath it or part of it at all times ever since they made it? It's like some occultic, like, special stone.
Probably. They're all nuts. They're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I think they've got magic blood.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they got the magical bloodlines. Yep. Fritz Springmeier, that's where I learned that from in the late 90s as a youngin'. It's like, that's not a real name, first of all. I've done my research on him as well, but he wrote the book 13 Bloodlines of the Illuminati.
Right.
If it was bare knuckles, sure, I might entertain it. Yeah, I mean, maybe. But
that's what Shamrock went on to do, didn't he? Ken Shamrock did some like on concrete bare knuckle street fighting something, just UFC style wasn't enough for him.
But Danny, right? If you see this,
Cody Rhodes music, put Cody Rhodes music on it.
It's because it's not just once, right? It's now, this is a thing. They're making a lot of money on it. And if you hear the music, it's very triumphant, kids movie type music. I don't know what to call it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look good. I'm not saying it does. I'm just still trying to figure out if she's still, not to. Her husband died. Her head's going to be in all the fucking strangest places, and if she's got people blowing bloody smoke up her ass and just being like, "Oh yeah, look, we've got everyone cheering for you, and we don't want you to be upset because husband's dead," not that lot. I don't know how much of it is her just like being led by people while she's still just on autopilot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With trauma and things like that, it's not always as simple. I don't want to sound naive saying that either. I haven't watched like all the footage or anything like that, but yeah,
that's horrific. Trump with Erica Kirk's face here. My goodness,
that's scary.
Yeah, and then look at Tucker. He's just learning about the stuff that's been spraying in the air like my whole life. This is what I'm saying, Danny. How the fuck do I know this? And Tucker Carlson's just learning about it and going, I didn't know that. You know, that goofy ass laugh he does. Yeah. It's just, who's buying this shit? All these people are fake. Everybody's a phony. It doesn't matter. Left, right, religions, this, that, sports, entertainment. These motherfuckers are the fakest people on the planet. So, aluminum, they're spraying aluminum? Are they? Yeah, I've been called a conspiracy theorist and a crazy person pretty much my whole life for knowing this. Seeing the sky just turn milky white every day. And then he comes out in the year 2025 AD and says, what? He's like, he's going to talk about it now as if Because now it's important because you got all the followers and all the eyes on you on the X machine. Got it. Like and subscribe here, folks. Let's go. Hurry up. Been known this shit. And again, Candace Owens, I don't trust her. You know? Where is she? I don't trust her. She's dissing Ben Shapiro.
Oh, I don't trust Shapiro either.
Nobody likes Shapiro.
He's the personification of fucking WWE's advertising thing, where he'll talk for like 90 seconds. But first, let me sell you this, and then he'll fucking sell you something, and then he'll talk for 90 seconds, and then he'll sell you something else. And it's just like watching WWE. It's like just coming out of like a few minutes of some entertainment or something, or just anything, please, without it being broken down.
Yep. Just like, and the same thing with Tucker, with all of them, right? So Candace Owens, she's like several years ago, I just learned the left is bad. Now I'm going to be on the right. Oh, is that how it works? Is that how it works? You still don't get it? Oh, you just figured out about the people we can't talk about like a couple years ago? Oh, you just figured it out? Oh, okay. Oh, she's on our team, everybody. Team Truth and everything, right? No. This is another work. This is another shoot. Again, this is who says the world is a stage and all this? But you know the whole thing. The world's a stage. None of these people are legit. We talked about this last week. I mean, I can't wait for this. Just to switch gears. The Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
What's going on in comic books? People have been getting a little bit crazy lately around here anyway, because Captain America is supposed to be coming back in the movies, and they're like, what's going on? Because that's not Captain America anymore, is it? Or is it? Everybody, they're fighting over the mantle of Captain America now, and it's like, no, you're Falcon, and that's Captain America, okay? To me, at least. So, and of course, I can't be racially biased. I can't be. It's just, that's the way it works. And I don't have to agree with everything sometimes, even what the WWE does. But it's like, whoever they tell me the best is the best. Right? What am I going to go, no, I'm going to make up my own reality of what's going on. No, what happens is what happened. Cena was choked out by Gunther. That all happened. Everybody, he gave up. Right? It doesn't make sense to me, but okay. He gave up in his last fucking match. The guy that never gives up. Congratulations. Let's figure this out, everybody. Maybe we can get Triple H fired, right?
But they're engaging with just like a really lazy way of storytelling, because both DC and Marvel now have like 20 different multiverses. So they can just bring people back whenever they want. They can just mush things up. They can have everybody gets to turn, because like the Captain America one's a good example, where it's like people, I did see people originally be like, so you're trying to tell me I couldn't relate to Captain America because he was white, but now that he's black, I can do. And it's like, no, I could relate to him before. Spider-Man takes that to a whole new level, because not only is the Spider-Man, there's the Miles Morales Spider-Man, the Spider-Girl, the Spider-Gwen, they've got Spider-Punk, which is like a British one. So I'm very thankful, because I can now understand Spider-Man.
Speaking of
all these years, I could never understand Spider-Man, but now they've done a Spider-Punk, they've done a British Spider-Man. I finally get it. I understand how other people feel, but where do you stop? Because Britain is like 4 countries, so maybe you don't feel like you've been represented by that one. So do we need even more now? It's just fucking stupid. Do we have Spider-Man for like the Jamaican side? What's going on? Can we just have like 2,000 different Spider-Men now? It's fucking nuts.
There was one Spider-Man that was a female in a wheelchair, and then I'm not even kidding. And
I believe you.
The chairs would come off like and turn into like web spitters, and it was like, and then she's flying around with her legs fucking dangling all through the sky and then it forms back. It's just like, I get what they're doing, but how about Daredevil? Something like that would make a lot more sense. Or say if somebody that was wheelchair bound in any other form other than Spider-Man flying around the city, like with it's almost like they're goofing on them too. That's how I see it. It's like, this is wrong. What are you doing? But
they've forced wheelchair bound characters into like Dungeons and Dragons now. So it's like, not only does it take you out of the escapism because you're trying to be in like a medieval dungeon and someone's got like a futuristic wheelchair, but then people are just like, you have steps to climb. How do we get past this? I can roll the fucking 6, but that ain't gonna make me fly up the stairs magic. Do you know what I mean? And it's just it needs to stop. It's daft.
And when you brought up
Use your imagination.
Spider-Punk, I was like, oh, that's right. I actually have the very first Spider-Punk, everybody. It's probably a whole $6 now. But I'm flipping through the pages. Within the first couple of pages, the Captain America in this universe is kissing a dude. Starts making out with the dude right away. And I'm like, wow, what are comic books right now? And this was a few years, 3 or 4 years ago. But man, yep, they really cram it into everything. And they did with especially Marvel. DC at one point, they've seemed to got a little bit better with it, but I'll give them this. That Absolute Universe stuff, just like the Ultimate Universe in Marvel, interests me because I like different takes on things more to see what I'm always that's why I like NXT, because it's characters and stuff that they're trying out, and it may not hit, it might hit. And like with the Absolute Batman stuff, the Joker and everything, I find that whole story intriguing. It's just, this is basically Batman without money, who's like huge, jacked, and the villains he keeps coming across just keep getting weirder and crazier. And the Joker character is like totally not like the other Joker that you would know from regular Batman, but he looks like the final form of him or whatever looks like a big ass Joker Venom. Mm-hmm.
And that would be fine if there was just that one alternative version of like Batman and Spider-Man with Ultimates, but there isn't. Batman has like the Gargoyle of Gotham and Gotham by Gaslight. Batman and Robin and Batman. Spider-Man's got Spider-Man Noir. It's got Radioactive Spider-Man. There's Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man Night. There's just they rather than being consistent with one storyline and putting effort into it, everybody gets a go. Everybody gets a turn, whether it's one of the 5 or 6 variant covers at each fucking issue. So different artists will be like, here we go, let's just spaff all this on there and get my resume fat. People just write it, and the inside out art is just, some of it's terrible. They may as well just fucking submit and go into AI, because some of it is just, it's dire. It really is. I can't draw to save my life, but I'll happily slag off stuff that is that bad. And some of it is. And this isn't just like the smaller things. This is some of the covers for like X-Men and, Superman and Batman. And yeah, they do too much. It's like with wrestling and a lot of other things, but thank you very much. Nice hat, Danny. So true. Yeah, Posey Parker is a good hat. But yeah, they do too much, and the multiverse is sort of idea. It's lazy, because if you write something and then change your mind, like killing somebody, and you think we need to bring them back, it's just like, oh yeah, we'll just easily bring them back, and then everything we just wrote for them to die just means less.
Yep, that's true. The comic book scene, it's weird. It gets like, there are certain things that are just bangers, and then other things that are, female Spider-Woman like in a wheelchair flying around the city. When I seen the legs dangling and her going around, I was like, I lost it. I'm like, come on, bro. Come on. Oh, I got an eyelash in my eye. Nice big eyelashes. Yep. The fake ones I put on last night, they're still on here somehow.
I'm not gay
no more though. Just last night, but not today. Yep. You like this episode? Yeah. What about all the rest of them? Come on, do better, Paladin. You like all the episodes. Thank you. We get.
I think I've got some cat drama. What bloody
cat drama?
No, it's all right.
There's always cat drama at Jess's too. She's always running around like there's a cat in here. Shit.
Well, I've got my headphones on. I've got the cans on. I've got a green screen behind me. I because I'm in the living room and I can hear something and I can't tell if it's a cat trying to scratch the door to get in or out, or if it's just a cat eating.
That'd be hilarious if one day the cat just like jumps on the green screen in the back and tears it all down.
Yeah.
That's happened to Stuttering John before, where his whole green screen falls over, and then you get to see his whole apartment at the time, which was like a little studio apartment, and all his stuff was like crammed. It like was just a mess. And then this is early Dabbleverse, by the way, folks. I'm talking about with Stuttering John, and he was doing his shows, interviewing people politically and this and that, and then he would go. Just suddenly like jump back because there was cockroaches like climbing all over his keyboards and things, and he's like, whoa. So these were
I'm not that bad, Christ.
no, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying this is Stuttering John now. We're all in the Dabbleverse for a minute. And yeah, the cockroach thing was huge up front. I mean, amazing stuff, John. Keep up the good work. He left for several months. And then he just came back randomly, September, the end of the summer or something. And it's like he hasn't skipped a beat. Now he's doing stand-up shows everywhere. People are following him to his shows. There's more drama and fallout, even when people don't show up to harass him or with noisemakers like Kevin Brennan did. But this latest place that he just played, he stayed at the owner's house. Now they're all making fun of him. How dare you stay at an owner's house as a comedian? Have you ever heard of that? Believe it or not, I've heard of that. And I've heard of it on the Howard Stern show. Sal and Richard would stay at not even the owner or the club's house. They'd stay at fans' houses and stuff. So, yeah, when you're low in the stand-up scene and you want to save the owner some money or yourself some money, you stay at people's houses. I know professional athletes, because I know a bunch of guys that get athletes and wrestlers and all kinds of stuff that do shows with them and for signings and things. And they mainly stay with them at their houses. I mean, they'll put some of them up in hotels, but that will have to be on their dime because, going out there selling autographs or whatever, it's very hit or miss. There's some days you can make a couple grand or $5,000 or whatever, but you could go out there to a signing and you might have like 2 people show up. So, yeah. That's
same for musicians as well. Musicians, it's good to just crash on each other's couches or just stay where you can, where it's cheap. Wrestlers too will do it. It's a way of life to the traveling person. So
they were really dogging Stuttering John this week on that. But he had the guy from the club come on. And it's funny that I'm even defending John about all this because he's usually wrong about everything. But he's not wrong about this. And he befriended the guy at the club because I'm sure he's a fun guy. He drinks and he hangs out and he's, he acts like a goofball and stuff. And he can be respectable at times, I'm sure. So the owner came on with him and they were just shitbagging now Baby Fatso, a.k.a. Chad Zumach, who's a dabbler on MLC, the other show I watch with Brennan and all this. And there's a war going on between this owner and Chad because Chad is like saying he wants to shut his club down and because he can't get dates on there. So this is just a little bit of the drama that's been unfolding lately in the Dabbleverse, folks. Maybe more on this later. You never know. But anyway, let's just get back into wrestling for a minute. Did you hear about the Thea Hale stuff, NXT?
Nope.
So Thea Hale took on Blake Monroe for the North American title this Tuesday, and she wasn't supposed to win, and she won it. So Blake supposedly got the wind knocked out of her, hurt her ribs or whatever, gets pinned, doesn't kick out. The ref calls it. They start playing Blake Monroe's music because she's supposed to win. They give it to Thea because everybody just saw her pin Blake. It got counted. The music started. They had to cut that song, put her song on, and she's been the champ now. And now they have to go back and fix it. They can't fix it as fast as they'd like because it's the holiday season. They're doing all these tapings. People are at home and whatever, and they can't get them back in time. So that's something to keep an eye on, everybody, because that's just pretty funny to me. Like, I love hearing stories of people winning when they shouldn't be in a scripted match. Like, how does that even happen? How? You can't kick out? Just crazy stuff. This NXT and wrestling in general, the life. again, man, they can't do nothing right. That should be the easiest part of the match, is kicking out. Even if you have the wind knocked out of you, you should be able to roll a shoulder up. And the ref, I mean, come on, ref. You got to be with it too. I'm sure I heard that they train them to count to 3. And if they're laying there, you got to count that 3. But you know what? Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe if you know what's supposed to happen, just leave off like most of these indie wrestling referees and have the crowd boo. All right. Because we know either way, we know.
Shane McMahon, when his shoulder used to lock up. And he went for the 3, 1, 2, and then be like, no, I've got a dodgy shoulder.
Oh, man. I'm sure it's happened many times before. I can't really pinpoint one right now, but I'm sure somebody's been knocked out cold, and they're like, what do we do? He's completely out here. I'm supposed to pin him, and he's supposed to kick out. But, yeah, I had a wrestler on back in the day that knocked somebody out in the middle of the match like that. Just gave him a forearm, hit him square in the button, and he said he started snoring like immediately. Yep. You want more superhero talk? How about this, Paladin? I'm about to buy the Absolute series, Batman, the paperbacks or whatever. I just want to read them in whole, because I really haven't. I just kind of read the notes and stuff online from videos. But I heard Absolute Wonder Woman is like one of the best. And I don't know anything about that. I just know about Batman, really. Superman, I heard a little bit about. It sounds interesting. It's more his powers come from like his suit and his cape or something as well. And do you know anything about that whole world?
The Wonder Woman one has her with a broadsword for most of the covers that I've seen, and then spoiler, I'm guessing, but there's a baby that she has on her back at one point. And I remember seeing the cover and being like, surely it'd be easier to defend the baby if it's on your front, because at least you can see it. But yeah, so they've got that take. But yeah, she looks pretty badass with the big double-handed sword that she's one-handed in a lot of the art as well. So yeah, it does look good, and Wonder Woman hasn't really outstayed her welcome. She had a TV show, she did a few films, but she's not had like as many TV shows and films as Batman or Spider. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't seem as offensive.
Batman's their Spider-Man. So they're just gonna 70% of DC is Batman and 70% of Marvel is Spider-Man. I mean, they even have
everyone.
Oh, they have 2 Spider-Man. Miles too.
But then Spider-Gwen and Spider-Girl, and there's a Spider-Venom or Venom Spider or some, and then all the different types of Spider-Man. But they give everyone a fucking, even like all the villains have got like their own series as well now, and it's too much. It really is too much. If it was one concerted sort of like concentrated sort of like series, and then occasionally you just had like, here's 3 about this villain that'll introduce this villain, instead of putting it into the main series. But then I'd just be fine with, well, just give it as backstory. It's like law, like a lot of other things do. But some people just like action all the time. They don't want any of that backstory. They don't want any of that character building or world building. So they'll just happily skip that sort of stuff just for all the high spots.
Yep. TikTok brains.
Yeah.
Triple H, right? We want viral moments. That's it. They don't care about the wrestling, the actual stories, or they always talk that big game, long-term storytelling, but then they don't. They never come through with it, except for, the obvious big one that we've seen for the past 5 years. And that went a little bit too long, too. Or they could have transitioned into something a lot better than the way they did, instead of just going, well, Solo gave the tribal chief Ufalafa back to Roman Reigns. That's it. Sprinkle some crack on him. We're done. Case closed, Johnson. Old Chappelle skit stuff. Yeah. Chappelle, he's getting some heat today. Also, being very spicy last night, telling Bill Maher he go fuck himself. And
oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, I'm with him with all this. Yeah.
What was it over? Sorry, I didn't see this.
Just he's like he's just tired of hearing him talk about shit.
Right.
And I'm sick of it too. Like these people in the media, like again, this show is named Phonies because if you turn on a screen, except for this show, of course, everybody's phony. Even lower level people, Danny, in a certain way, they're being phony because they were, the thumbnails with the open mouths and the Home Alone type shit, and then you get to it and it's not really what it's like they're trying to do Mr. Beast tactics and things, and it's just like, no, just be normal and keep it real. Okay, don't keep it real fake in a fake way. Just keep it real, everybody. That will get you way further ahead. That's just my expert opinion, but I see Piers Morgan out here and stuff, and it's like, how the fuck does this guy get work? How? And he gets all the work, and I know why. Obviously, because he's like the establishment mouthpiece. He'll say whatever they want him to say. Right? Am I right, Danny?
He a hoe. Yeah, he's fucking terrible. But it's got so bad lately that you will find yourself like agreeing with him on some things, and it's the same with Bill Maher. Most of the time, he's like similar sort of situation as Cornette. He doesn't realize the left has changed, but then every couple of months, Bill will just be like, you know what? These kids shouldn't really be getting like the tackle cut off, and doctors shouldn't just be prescribing them like whatever medication like you tell them to prescribe. Do you know what I mean? And then he'll just go back the next week to be like, "Oh my God, Donald Trump! Like, I burnt my toast this morning. It was Trump's fault." And it's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, you can't go like 2 weeks without like being sensible." Piers Morgan's the same. He waffles utter shite. That interview we did with Tucker Carlson the other week, where he wouldn't swear. I don't want to get you into trouble, but I'm not like, I don't have the power that he has, but he's just a fucking pussy. He really is. And he acts like he's anti-woke and anti-censorship, and he's got a program called Uncensored. Yeah, he's trying to like get people banned from social media and that lot because they've been mean, and they're telling him, all right, some of them aren't just saying, no, you're wrong. Some of them are saying, no, you're wrong, you obnoxious fucking prick, and possibly worse, but it's the internet, just ignore them.
Yeah,
but
and
he doesn't realize that that's the option. It's just ignore them.
He puts on that British accent too, like he ups it, especially for Americans. That's why I love the time Alex Jones with him years ago, and he starts to. I can't do it. I wish I could do a nice British accent like that, but Alex Jones just started speaking just like him, only proper and pompous.
What would happen if one found themselves speaking to the Queen? You'd all of a sudden develop a bit of a posh accent. Mm-hmm. And it's just, no matter where you're from, you have your own version of it that people around you will speak. But he just chews a toffee, so he's like a bit more, and he's a fucking prick.
And then I saw him with Nick Fuentes. I don't know if anybody knows that guy too. He's a half white, half Latino Ben Shapiro, in my opinion. Like that's the same thing. He talks like this, the nasally voice, and he's a self-admitted incel and racist and this and that, right? I think that, of course, I think some of it's tongue-in-cheek. I think that that fits. Like, he's saying it to be provocative and to annoy people or whatever. But he went on there with Piers, and those two just had an asshole off with each other. And Piers is trying to troll him. He's doing it boomer style, and then Fuentes comes in Gen Z style, trying to troll him back. And a monster, I think, was the biggest quote I took from that Piers, because he gets so flustered, he's just started saying words, and then Nick is like, clip it, we got him, And I'm like, just the age gap and the way that they're literally doing the same thing to each other. I was like, this is amazing stuff. So I will give Piers this. He knows how to mix it up and get the people on there that absolutely hate each other. And he can get you mad. He's a heel, very good heel.
Oh yeah, he knows how to push people's buttons. And there have been a lot of times where people have said certain things, and you've seen that clip of someone going around, and it's on his show because he knows to have person X and person Y talking about topic B, and he knows exactly what will happen once he sets one of them up to start speaking, and then he'll just sit back and watch them. But it'll be his show that everybody sees that was the host in the particular clip.
Have you ever seen the View?
Oh yeah. Our version over here is called Loose Women. Seriously, it's called Loose Women. And one of the jokes you have over here is like, oh, the first time I saw Loose Women come up on the TV guide, I was like 3 a.m. I was like, hey, up, look what I've got here. What am I going to watch? And then they're just there talking about fucking books and like, it's just propaganda of like what to buy. And it's like, this isn't Loose Women. What's this? This isn't. But yeah, we do have it. It's just, yeah. It all originally created and produced by men too. And I'm sure the American version's just as daft.
Yeah. And it wasn't always. That's the thing. When it first started out, of course, it's ladies talking. It was, you know how it works. The propaganda these days is just in your face, with explosions and lights and effects and the music. And it's so unbelievable. It's laughable. But back in the day, it was a lot more subtle. It was like, you actually thought it was real. But yep, we are so going into idiocracy, bro. Like everything is stupid as fuck. It's just garbage, hot garbage. Everybody's got bots and they pay for views, and it's the shits. This world is the shits. Get liking and subscribing here. We're actually real people doing this. Danny is in the UK. I'm in the US of A. We'll be seeing the sleaze probably next week. Jess next week. It's the holidays, so everybody's gearing up for that. I'm still pumping out the show. I can't miss a Saturday, right? I don't want to lose my subscribers for missing a show. Sorry. Yep. Or I'll cry myself to sleep on my big pillow tonight. So here's some other wrestling news I need your take on. This is the Masked Man. It's me, Austin. It's me all along, Austin. Get it? He's Austin Theory.
Yeah, he looks tough in this still, but can he sort of like keep it going for a while once he's like fighting and that, or is he just going to get his stupid face? Is it just going to go bleh and just start being daft again?
I like Austin Theory. Think he's a great wrestler. This is the perfect spot for him. It's just if he's just in there to eat pins for the vision to put Braun and Brunson over. And Logan Paul too. No, I would rather Austin Theory than Logan Paul. I understand Logan Paul is a great heel in all this in real life too, as we just saw earlier in that fight. But I like my wrestlers being wrestlers, and I know Logan can go in the ring, but then he does have some major fuck ups here and there.
But he's got all those millions of followers, and that's what they see. That's what so many other opportunities that WWE sort of like paid for with like different musicians or celebrities or whatever to try and get that mainstream audience. I don't think many have sort of like succeeded in the same way that Logan Paul will. I'm not saying every single one of his followers will also watch WWE, but I think just because it's just shit talking, it's like Jackass, but in a different setting, whether it's his own channel or it's on WWE or it's in boxing, UFC, it's just him with his brand, and it's sort of like I do think it works well with wrestling, and because he's such a fucking slappable face and a lovable, hateable heel, it does work. I think better than Bad Bunny, better than just think of other celebrities that they've tried to stick around and do
Belly Swole
stuff with.
Remember Belly Swole?
Yeah, that was. I was going to start talking about older ones at the.
Lawrence Taylor?
There we go. Yeah. It's just, what did that do, really? Tyson, Mike Tyson, that puts a bit of legitimacy back into wrestling, but all right, that bit didn't. No, he looked silly when he was doing the DX chop.
No, the crotch chops, worst ones ever, bro.
Yeah, worse than Linda McMahon taking Stone Cold Stunners, but...
Even Vince sometimes, the worst thing you can do is you take a stunner and you fall forward. Like, that looks like absolute shit. And the McMahons were doing that like all the time. It's like you're supposed to bounce backwards, like The Rock, and go heel, feet overhead and all this. And
I'd always sell them that way when messing about with friends. Just yeah, you have to oversell the stunner in that exact same way.
He rolls backwards just like Brock Lesnar when he fell and caught himself, but then he like pushes off the ground too. And like jumps in the air and does like another somersault. Oh, The Rock back then. The way he would take that stunner was just
Beautiful.
amazing. Yeah. He would never go out like this. As much as we can be annoyed by The Rock sometimes, this modern day Rock, Hollywood Rock as we call him, he would never go out like this. That's weak. Yep. Maybe Sasha Banks is the best Massachusetts wrestler. Maybe she wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Do you remember when Rock first went out to Hollywood and he lost to Goldberg? He put Goldberg over, and possibly it wasn't Goldberg's debut pay-per-view match. I think that was against Jericho. But one of his very early ones, The Rock put Goldberg over clean. Goldberg ruined him. And The Rock spent like 10 minutes after the match just like thanking the fans, but also telling the fans, oh, don't boo Goldberg. Goldberg, he's not that bad. He's good. And he put him over really well after the match, after the camera stopped rolling. He didn't smile like really awkwardly and then gently tap out weirdly. He did it a completely different way. And I know The Rock came back afterwards, but it's just that was it for his full-time role as a wrestler. And I just think there's a big difference in how they approach that.
Then Cody Rhodes cried all night, both times. Yep. Cody was crying. Did you see any of that post the Cena stuff?
No. No.
Yep. They were zooming in on him. Drew McIntyre brought this all up on Twitter. He's like, yep. He's like, make sure you're in frame, Cody.
Nice.
Because he was on the ring apron like, oh, man. Oh, John Cena. Oh. Like, again, they were treating it as if he RIP'd. And if you want to, let's do it properly. I know I've always brought it up. He kind of is. When you're out of wrestling and off the Raws and pay-per-views and all this, to me, you Liv Morgan's yourself. They should put up a memorial of you backstage, bring out The Undertaker. Rest. Yep. Tell him. And call it a career. Yep. But
it sounds like what you just described, because like I say, I've not seen the aftermath of it, but what it sounds like you've described is the way The Undertaker stopped being The Undertaker and is just Matt Calloway all the time now. Apart from John Cena is pretty much John Cena, and he's still called John Cena, and he's going to look like John Cena all the time. So even if he did appear on wrestling, not as the wrestler John Cena, but just as himself John Cena, he's still going to look like John Cena. And same if he goes and does like interviews and things, it just sounds a bit daft. Like they're just trying to keep him involved.
And he's been doing interviews like crazy. He was on with Cody Rhodes. He was on a bunch of other before even the last match. And he ain't saying nothing. He got nothing to say. Okay, everybody? Everybody's making a big deal. He's going to be on the Cody Rhodes podcast, which is, first of all, boring and it stinks. But then you're going to have John Cena on there with him. That's also going to be boring. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Yep.
Watch his music hit at the Royal Rumble. Fucking, they won't be able to leave it like 2 months. They'll just for that pop. They'll do that just for the Royal Rumble pop.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. Have you been seeing these things coming in the chat? We got somebody trying to bot us from Kick, and they keep going, this show is no good. My show is good. And it's like, no, it's not. If it was, why would you be here to try to get my one viewer on Kick that we're on, by the way, and X and YouTube? Everybody come over to YouTube, hit the like button, except for that little creep kid over there. That's pretty much what Kick is. It's like a bunch of kids and Rampage Jackson. Yep. So let's look at what do we got here? So we talked about that a little bit. We talked about that. I mean, can we talk about this for a minute?
What the fuck?
Remember this? So I never actually played the game. Is that a real picture, first of all?
Yeah, she's very unfortunately shaped.
So this is The Last of Us. Creepy.org says, show me a worse casting. I'll wait. From the inversion game girl to the one that they put in the TV show. I heard the first season was pretty good, and then the second season just went off a cliff. And then when I was reading or watching some clips of people talking about the show, it's ridiculous. You know, she's going to be a dad and all this, and she's telling the Rick Grimes of the show, I'm guessing, you know, what he needs to do and things, and it's just like, what? Does that actually happen in the game?
Some of it does, but I think they just not the like being a dad and that lot. But just her looking tough and sort of like standing up to adults sometime. Yeah, but it's just that same shit to do with all of it. Like, I think, yeah, my pin tweet references is talk about the One Piece live action thing, but it also just touches upon it with everything. They just hijack your fucking products. They hijack your IPs to put their other products over, like that actress. They want that actress to be in everyone's minds and to be a household name, so they just install her in things that other people already like, and they do it with fucking everything. And that's just one of the worst examples that people have been the most offended by, because they just took it so far from the original source material to the point of Alas being like, yeah, I'm going to be a dad. And they're just like, this isn't the video game adaptation that I looked for. The first season isn't that good. It's all right. They're all awful. Sorry.
How about the games themselves?
I haven't played them. I'll be honest, but I know plenty of people that have, that would just have either said they didn't need a TV show because it's like, I've got the game. What do I want a TV show for? Or I've just said, oh my God, they changed so many things. And that's just what you find with most of these. In fact, all of them, the live action conversions.
Do you know anything about Xbox like dying? I've been seeing those types of videos and things popping up on my feed a lot lately. Like,
I know that I couldn't give a tiny rat's ass about it dying. Sorry, go on. Are
you an Xbox guy at all?
No. My opinion on Xbox from day one was, I'm sorry, I don't need an Xbox. I know how to build my own PC. Thank you.
That's true.
It's always just been Fisher Price is my first PC. You know, whether you do Fisher Price my first walkie-talkie and it's a normal walkie-talkie in like 4-inch of like clear plastic, or my first whatever. That's what I've always seen Xboxes. And sadly now PlayStations, they didn't start off that way, but PlayStations are just like a PC in like 4-inch of thick plastic, trendy plastic sort of design. But yeah, they're convenient, but I don't rate them. Gaming hasn't been better, in my opinion, since the Xbox and PlayStation war compared to when it was the Sega and Nintendo. I think it was better friendly competition that made each other better back then, whereas now it's just, we've got too many exclusivity things. Everyone releases so many stupid, tiny little microtransactions to try and outdo each other in business rather than in creative games, and I don't think it's as good. Sorry, go on. You were saying Xbox perishing.
No, just Xbox. It's all I've been seeing is like they've essentially the gone woke thing, and now they're going broke or whatever. I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. I think that's a part of it, but not all of it. Arc Raiders is where it's at. I mean, they're just doing it right. That might be the best game I've ever played. It could be. It's that good. The replayability, the way you can actually work with people in multiplayer, you can actually get along with people in a game. And that hasn't happened in like 20 years. And that around 20 years is when people started getting online to play games. So it's like revolutionizing, I think, the entire industry. Get ready for more of this, and hopefully we do get more of this. A $40 game that's finished, that they have a roadmap already planned out, and they're doing it live, fixing everything on the fly, and they're getting millions and millions and millions for it. Good. Everybody should give them their money. If you're a video game player, that's where you go. Everything makes sense in it. And sure, there are all these people. There's a lot of videos like, oh, it's dead and it's gone and it's going to be going out. And no, it ain't. No, it's not. This is the fucking biggest game that I've played since, God, Halo 3. The first Batman that came out and was like, shocked everybody how much of a banger it was. We're talking late 2000s, early 2010s. I haven't played a game like this. Dead by Daylight was cool, kind of run its course. shooters and things. I'm sure everybody has their favorite games. This is the one, though. I'm telling you, this shit's crazy good. So, and I know Killer Cross plays it. He's out here playing Arc Raiders, getting ratted. Yep.
Do you have to pay for those extra bits?
What happened is people were upset with the pricing. It's your typical microtransactions to get customizables and stuff like that. Since I started playing it from the beginning, they gave me $21 worth for free. They just gave me another 10 the other day, and when you finish everything, you can complete get like $10 to spend on outfits or whatever. And then they just gave me another $10, and I ended up with 21 overall. I'm still getting more from the new stuff that they're adding in the game, and I'm kind of like, well, I'm not big in the customizables and stuff anyway, but I grabbed a few things, and I got so much. I can just wait for new things to come out, see if I like it. But they've lowered the prices on everything too. Arc Raiders did in the past like month and a half the game's been out. They're hitting it out of the park, and they have a plan to keep this going until people lose interest, pretty much. And that's all we want with games. Create something that's finished, let the people play it, go, we like this, we don't like that. You adjust it, you keep more people playing it, everybody's happy, everybody's making money or whatever, making clips and content. That's it. And they're doing it. So about time. All these other games where it's like $70, $150 if you want the complete game. And oh, by the way, we'll finish it in like 7 months after release, maybe. And it will still be buggy, and this won't work, and that won't work. Fuck that. Those days are over, brah. Have you seen the Game Awards? I think people are like noticing these indie developers that are like blowing up and taking over. It's like, that's how you have to do it if you want to actually make money at this anymore. You know, like Borderlands is another example of how the gaming industry just, fleeces its customers because they just constantly put out more content and go, give us more money for that. Now give us more money for that. And then they put like the Street Profits in Borderlands outfits for their WrestleMania entrance and everything. It's like, instead of spending the money on that, spend it on your actual game to make it good, But hey,
Christ, well, you've got like Fortnite, which just has like skins of like everybody, hasn't it now at this point? And Games Workshop have got a Total War 40k, Warhammer 40k game coming out where they'll give you like two of the factions. There'll be like Space Marines and Orcs, and then you have to like pay $20 for like all the other teams after that. They'll fleece the fuck out of it with that game. They really will. I'm surprised Games Workshop do not do more video game stuff because of all the microtransactions they would just happily just throw at everybody. And too many people would pay it, and it just encourages them to do it more and more.
Yep. And that brings me to WWE is partnering up with Stranger Things because they're both on Netflix. And I don't know what that means. I think The Miz might get eaten by zombies again, possibly. Yeah. Or maybe they'll shit him out this time in the middle of the ring. That's what they should do.
It's the shits.
They'll show you the clip. Go, remember that? And then they'll go, that's The Miz.
It's the shits.
There he is.
Maybe they should try doing like a cross promotion with like an entertaining wrestling program. That would just give it a go once, lads. Go on, please, just try. They're going to do a fucking zombie thing with not The Miz, but maybe something.
I love zombie stuff. Listen, if you just say zombies, I'm sold. Like we need a zombie episode of the Dr. Huge Show. I think, maybe invite a zombie on or something. Preferably eating somebody in the background or whatever. But yep, I'm telling you, my two big ideas. I was telling Paladin on the gaming stream the other night. Dr. Huge Show on Twitch. Dr. Huge Show everywhere. But the two games that would knock it out of the park, Arc Raiders already is. But if you made it more horror style and just call it The Walking Dead. It's Arc Raiders, but it's Walking Dead characters. Instead of the Ark and the Terminator robots, you have zombies and different kinds of mutated zombies, different camps everywhere instead of different little cities that you have to go to topside where you have to extract out of. That would just print money. And then I've been saying for years now, like 10 years, wrestling fighting game that's like Tekken, 3D fighting game, John Cena in it, Asuka, you name it. Everybody's fighting everybody. They're doing wrestling moves, kicks, punches, and all that. But I think that would sell copies literally everywhere in the world because people love Tekken, but they just like, I don't know about this is like anime characters or whatever, you know. These they have their own storylines that don't make any sense. I'm saying use the WWE storylines that don't make any sense. Turn it into a fighting game. Money Triple H. I know you like that stuff, so look into it. Plus, Tekken was working with New Japan World Wrestling in Tekken 7. Actually had some customizables and Okada's outfit for King and stuff because there are wrestlers in that game as well. So come on, wrestling. Come on, wrestling. Let's go. Make a fighting game for us because, you know, I'm just not sold on the 2K games really anymore.
No.
Also, I don't have time to watch a guy walk down to the ring and do his whole entrance in video game form. It's not impressive to me. They can make it look as lifelike as they want. I'm just like, I just fast forward through all that to get to the match, right? So, I don't know. That's my rant about video games, everybody. Yep. Or a proper Left 4 Dead game, Dead 3, and not the Back 4 Blood piece of shit. They fooled me with that. I loved Left 4 Dead, so when I heard about Back 4 Blood, I got on the alpha, paid the full $60 for it and everything, and you know what? I only played the test. I never actually played the game. That's how much it sucked.
Can I upset you?
Oh, no. What are you going to say?
The zombie thing's been well fucking overdone. Like,
what?
Everything. Whenever something's got a little bit stale, whether it's a first-person shooter, whether it's Marvel series, they go, do you know what we can do? What if we just zombify this? This will be so much better if we just zombify it. And it's like, it works with Wolfenstein because it was funny. You got to blow up like zombie Nazis. But just everything has like a zombie mode now. And even by like the late noughties, it was just like, how many more Dead films can we make? And then it just got everywhere with video games, and now it's everywhere with comics because Marvel have got the zombies multiverse universe, and DC have got a vampires. And that's it. Yeah, and I think they've got zombies in that too. And it's just like, just leave it. Can we just give zombies a break for a little bit? They're tired, bless them. Just let's do something else for a bit. Maybe aliens or ghosts.
I like the zombie mode on the original Red Dead. That was cool.
But don't get me wrong, zombie films are great. The original 3 Evil Dead films are bloody classics. But just now everything's zombies. And to the point of where we've got The Walking Dead, which is the television format where they've gone Dawson's Creek plus zombies equals Walking Dead. Dawson's Creek plus Lord of the Rings equals Game of Thrones. Dawson's Creek plus superheroes equals Heroes. And it's become that just another thing that the television or whoever will just use to just refresh something and just sprinkle a little bit more life into it, ironically, with dead things. But it just, yeah, it's too much, man. I do get why zombies, like zombifying things are cool and it's fun in video games that you get to blow things up, but just let's give zombies a rest for a bit, please.
How about this? This is from, I think, the fight the other night. This is some of Jake Paul's boys. It said, like, Paul team, I think, on some of their shirts. But they get into it. These mop heads get into it with Andrei Arlovsky. You remember him, the Pitbull? He used to be a UFC champ back in the early 2000s, and he's a beast. Well, watch this. Look at what these kids do. And you know they're doing it for clout. They're acting like they don't know who he is and shit, but watch this. He, like, literally fucking pushes him with his shoulder.
That dude looked like a fucking giant from the movie 300. Yo, what are you doing? Yo, chill, Jake! Chill! Yo, Jake, help him, Jake. Go, get the fuck out. Get out!
So nothing's really going on, right? I mean, he nudges Arlovsky. Arlovsky looks at him like, what the fuck? And then they all start like swinging. I don't even, who started swinging first? Mike and, it was like,
What are you doing?
oh yeah, that one guy in the camp throws a punch at Andre Arlovsky. What are you doing? What are you doing? And then the rest of them jump in like they're doing something. And towards the end here, I think they start talking like, oh man, yeah. You know, basically like they're all hyped off of it. Like they got their clout, right? But check this out.
Chill, chill.
He would still destroy these people. It's just like insane.
Even that private security guard, because I've seen that little kid before who does this. I've seen other videos of him. He'll hire the biggest fucking meathead he can find to just follow him around. The little kid will just bump into people.
That's what this is.
Yeah, then when people are like, oh, what did you do that for? He then goes and hides behind his meathead. But even the meathead then took a couple of them little jabs from the fighter, and he didn't advance towards him. He sort of like the meathead, the security guard stood back and was like, well, at least he's got these other little guys to distract him. Because look, he doesn't.
He's out of frame.
He was
Like
just
that
like,
quickly.
yeah, they weren't.
Chill.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not getting involved in this one.
Hmm.
So, yeah, let's see what they have to say towards the end when they're running off here.
Why that guy trying to hit me for no reason? I don't know.
Why that guy trying to hit me for no reason? Really, bro? Fucking douchebags. And then these broads that are with him, it's like, you guys are idiots. What are you doing? You know, you're going to hang with him. Why? Because he's got the money to pay. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, don't you see he's trouble and he's a douche?
Yo, how are you 260 and we still eat your hits? You're a little big. Holy shit, cuz.
Yep. Good for you, bro. Cool. Right?
You roll the dice enough times, and eventually someone's going to fucking click out of you before your security guard can come and help you. And he's gotten away with it so far, I think. But eventually, or his security guard just be like, you know what, I'm fucking sick of this now. The old Diesel and Shawn Michaels thing.
Yeah. And here's a little bit of, and again, the reason why I'm just like kind of done with pro sports or any sports, it's just silly. But this is the coach of the Wolves that took on the OKC Thunder the other night, the reigning champs, who I knew was going to win the championship from the beginning of the year last year because they're allowed to foul people, but you can't touch them. If you and then they fall over on purpose, they'll just bump into you, fall over, and it's like foul. And even people at last night's game were chanting free throw merchant at Shai, who was the MVP last year, who shouldn't have won the MVP. It should have actually went to Jokic again, but he's big, fat, and white, so we can't have that. And here you go. Here's what their coach had to say after getting thrown out of the game last night for freaking out over, the obvious grievances.
It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. They really do. They foul all the time. And then, you can't really touch Shea. And it's a very frustrating thing, and it takes a lot of mental toughness to try to play through it. And we just eventually were able to get downhill and force the issue ourselves, and we're rewarded for it.
It's just pathetic. And then you got Wemby, who's one of the next big stars in the league. He's like 7'7" or something. He's a freak of nature, but he's actually good at basketball as well as being like enormous. But he came out and he's just like, I'm just trying to play the game the right way. And he's like giving us all these little hints that the team he just played, the Thunder, like they aren't playing the right way. This is like, they're cheap. And the league allows it because they're like putting him up on this pedestal like they've done with LeBron James the past like 20 something years. And a lot of people don't seem to realize this. There are many people that notice this, but it's like, come on, everything's rigged. None of this is real. You know what I mean? They tell you almost every night now, the players, the coaches, God, even the refs that are like, oh, by the way, I fixed those games. Yep. It was just me, though, right? Sure. So I'm just telling you, this world is so phony. And then another, the altercation here, or the stare down between Andrew Tate and Chase Damore, because their fight's tonight. The first fake fight was last night. Now we got another one here. I showed you him last week, the guy that got the egg in the face from the other guy.
Yeah.
So here they are. We're watching them face off. Chase is acting very weird. They're nose to nose. And then he tries to get him to flinch. He barely does. And then he goes, I made you flinch. Don't forget it.
This is so fucking... So I don't know if over here, our Prime Minister and like the Labour Party are like trying to blame Andrew Tate for all of the shit that's happening to like women and young girls over here. And it's like, it's Andrew Tate's fault. It's Andrew Tate's fault. I didn't realize he had a fight. All they're doing is promoting his fight for the fucking idiots. They're just getting all this attention to Andrew Tate, who a lot of people are just not buying it. They're like, no, it's all these foreign invaders you've brought over with like, different with different cultures and that. It's not Andrew Tate. He's a prick, but he's not the one that's been. So people aren't falling
there anymore, right?
No, and a lot of people aren't falling for it anymore. And I didn't know he had a fight on. So just because people aren't falling for it, all they're doing is just going to type Andrew Tate into something and be like, "Oh, he's got a fight. Oh, that's interesting." And then it's just conversation. It's
that's just everything's just fake. And what do the kids say? Fake and gay. Yep. Not here. Not no more.
Not gay no more.
Not no more. Yep. What is this, Cody Rhodes? You're on OnlyFans with Paladin? Oh, here's some other news. Dabbleverse celebrity Clearwater Chad, who has been on the Dr. Huge show before. He was with Gilly, Felicia Gillespie, big time comedian. And even on my show, he was talking about how he's gonna get with her. He's gonna steal her from Karmic, and looks like he did, because I think Karmic and Felicia are no more as of like a few weeks ago, and Chad's moved right in. So good for you, Chad.
Do not mess around, do they?
And I know he's smashing. I just know it, 100%. Yep. He probably gave her a baby last night, I'm sure. I love this quote. I got to make a sample or a drop out of this. We got him, right, Danny? We always get our man. Yep, say it.
We got him.
Yes, we got him. So again, after, as somebody pointed out, we got him after he evaded us for 6 days and then took his own life.
All right, see, I shouldn't even be live right now.
I shouldn't. Me and Alex Jones should never be online, ever, really.
God fucking damn it, man. What the fuck?
Yep. It's just
he's been having fun lately as well, hasn't he? They've always been falling out with each other.
Who?
Alex Jones and just the right, just the online podcasting television show, right, sort of revolts. But Alex Jones has been kicking off.
Mm-hmm. So this whole thing happened right in my area. This was like going on maybe when we were live last week or whatever.
Yeah.
It was shortly after that I found out about the news of what happened at Brown University. And I find all this stuff highly suspicious when things start popping off like this, a week after. Like everybody over here is all caught up in the Erica Kirk stuff and like that tour she did, like going on to Fox News and all this, and leading up to the TP USA deal they had the other day. And it's almost like they wanted to divert attention to other things. Not saying that it's fake, right? But I'm saying, I know MK Ultra exists. I'll leave it at that. So if I know that exists, then really this is not that crazy to consider, especially the thing in Australia that happened the same day. And then nobody could find this guy, right? So he's like walking around the Providence streets, and like that he's on these house cameras, and it's like they don't have cameras in the college. That nobody knew what was going on. They all had the wrong information. And then the other day, I think it was Thursday, they're chasing him up 95 through like Providence, and then Massachusetts, and then New Hampshire was like the story with like they're searching like all of New England or whatever, and he ends up found with a gunshot wound in his storage unit. And it's just, I just can't believe these stories. I'm sure if I kept digging, which I haven't really much on this one, I would be finding what I already kind of know, because that seems to be the case every time I start digging. So again, another guy, a Portuguese like nuclear physicist scientist guy from MIT that was working on plasma and like new forms of like energy or something like that, ends up getting killed in Boston in his house, like assassinated. And they're like trying to pin it on this guy too that did the Brown thing. And I'm kind of like, wait, what? He's just, and it's supposedly, and I've heard this story before. There was another guy that went to a college like last year somewhere. I can't keep all these shootings together. There's so many of them. Where he went in and like started shooting people into college, and the news made it seem like, well, it's just because he's disgruntled and he didn't get into the college. He didn't get this job. He wanted to be a professor, or he wanted to do this and that. And so his alternative was to go, shoot the place up, right? Which is stupid, but it makes me think like that's what they're saying with this too. It's like this guy might have taken his spot, wrestling lingo style, and it didn't work out for him or what. And I'm just like, no. This is way too convenient. I think there are hits going on, Danny. That's what I think. I think there's a lot of hits going. Remember the black kid that went to Times Square, went into the building that Blackstone and the NFL headquarters was at. They made it all about the NFL headquarters, but he went to the floor where it was Blackstone, shot a couple security guards, goes up there and shoots one woman, and then like either turns a gun on himself or something happened. I forget how that ended, but that to me, and then she ended up being like the CEO of like Blackstone or whatever like department that was. And I'm just thinking that's a hit, and I think that they can take like, I mean, rappers have been talking about this forever. I'm going to put a G on your head. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Because you could just go buy a crackhead for $500 and they'll do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So you just point and go, yeah, that guy, he gets it today. Right? I think that's the easiest solution. What do you think about all this, Danny?
Yeah, I can sort of see that. And it is easy to like just give, like you say, a crackhead $500 or whatever. With television, if certain agencies wanted someone to be dealt with, and you just gradually sort of like incrementally said, oh, this person's a bad person, like over television for like 10-20 years, that's one way of sort of like getting people to like not like someone or be volatile towards a certain musician or actor or political figure, whatever. But with the internet, not everybody's wired for it. So if you just press that button and prod that that certain personality type to try and do things, like if you paint someone as a Nazi or paint someone as evil, you do it enough times, you shut all the mental health facilities down and let everybody just sort of like be everybody else's problem. Also, you've got states and cities where the deterrent for other people having isn't there. So if you were to pull one out in the middle of a public place, you aren't going to get 50 other people pull theirs out on you, for example. I think all these things do work together to sort of like make like a higher chance of like this coincidence of sort of like things happening. I'm not saying there aren't people pushing buttons for more immediate results, but I think if you leave these ingredients there in the state that they're in and just leave it for long enough people will just snap and start taking matters into their own hands, whether it's just random people at school or a celebrity on stage at a school. Like I say, I'm not throwing out completely that government agencies or whoever do try and orchestrate things, but I do think you can just suggest enough people are suggestible, to psychotic and just get completely unhinged degrees. And I think we're seeing a lot more of that lately. The internet does not work with everybody's brain.
And it's TikTok everybody's brain too. So people don't want 3-minute songs, Danny. They're telling me stop making songs. Like the people in the business that are tracking all this and know what's best for everything. They say what you need to do is you make a hook. Just make a hook, throw it on TikTok sometimes. If it catches on, finish it into something that you can probably sell. But it doesn't really need to be more than a minute. Like what? A minute? So imagine, again, I think, what's that movie with Sylvester Stallone? Demolition Man. They hit it out of the park. They pretty much nailed a lot of different things. And they're nailing things I think are coming in the future, like how it's just going to be commercial ads. Like that's going to be the top music in the business, will be like jingles. And who knows, maybe they'll go retro and that will be a thing that's hot for a second, like the Oscar Mayer.
We're already at that point. The average pop song's like 3.5 minutes, and you compare that to like Beethoven, Mozart, they're jingles in comparison to like full symphony just a movement before would be like 10-15 minutes, not 3.5 minutes. And then you've got the whole thing with, you can't have dead air, and dead air is considered just like instrumental music. It's like, well, it's still music. It's like, but it's got no lyrics, so it's as good as dead air, because you could be saying something and selling something with words,
right?
And that's what we want. We're in the business of jingles, so that is where we're at the minute. But it's going to get worse. Well, like you say, it has got worse. They just want the hook, and that's all the effort they really want you to put in, because that's all you need to be able to stick it to something and then sell more of something.
Yep, the kids catch on to that 15 seconds or whatever, and they're like, ooh, I heard it 1,000 times. Where do I find this now? And it's like, oh, that's not how it's supposed to work, guys. Remember back in our day, they would actually make albums, and then they have skits in between. And like even some albums or tapes, they would be A and B sides, and they'd be completely different, and they'd be for like a specific storytelling, what they're doing, or like there was so much more thought put into music before. Now they're just like, spit out 20 seconds, let's go, and that's it. It doesn't matter. That's individual, and we're gonna wrap it up, put it together. Oh, we might put them together sometimes, but we sell songs individually too now. So just everything sucks now. Everything sucks, and it's the internet. It's the internet, and then it's the handheld internet, the phones. And that's why there really is no more culture. That's why the last generation that's recognizable is the 2010s. Not the 2010s, the 2000s. The 2010s is when everything starts getting jumbled together. There's a lot of niches and things like that, but there's no number one famous actor, actress. There's no rock stars. There's no like real. It's just everybody bitching about politics. That's what we've come to. And everything's political. They've got the women fighting with the men, and the blacks versus the whites, and the this versus the that. And it's just very obnoxious what's going on out here. That's why I stick to Arc Raiders, everybody. You missed the skits? Remember the Kenneth Kniff skits on Eminem? Oh yeah, Kenneth Kniff from Connecticut, little bitch. Melt in your mouth, not in your hands, little bitch. Yep. I don't know what that was about, but yep, Eminem. You're a corporate guy now too. I mean, he is the best. I can't say he's not. He's the best rapper there ever was. I'll give you that. So
the first Bloodhound Gang album, that was pretty good for those little skits in between tracks.
Oh yeah, I do. I can't remember them, but I do remember them.
There was the Axl Rose one. There was the one where they're singing Different Strokes. There was, excuse me, have you seen my wife's placenta? And it's like that.
Yeah.
The homeless man giving advice. Yeah.
Remember the comedy albums like the Adam Sandler stuff? How good that was back in the day. Oh my God. Yep. There's no more of that. Yeah, no more. You know what we have now? We got this. Hold on, let's show you another video here. We got people doing this at concerts.
No. Oh no.
Here comes a poison rana, everybody. I know the AEW folks know what a poison rana is.
Is she going to go backwards, or is he going to try and overcompensate for going backwards and end up drilling her head forwards? That's
and do the tuck pin that they do.
Rey Mysterio style.
Let's see.
Time, 6, yeah.
Let's get ready. It's going down. So if you're listening, there's this guy that has, oh God, she's got to be 250, maybe more. On
he's a
shoulders.
unit. He is a unit, but she is bigger than him.
Yeah. So he's a big guy. She's bigger. He's got her on the shoulders at a concert, and then she falls backwards and just gives him the nastiest poison rana right on top of his head. Of course, her back's hurting. That's how they're left at the end of the video. But here we go again. They're teetering here. Why would you even think to do this? They must be drunk. That's why. And why would she agree to this? Doesn't she know she got that big ass?
Why would he agree to it?
Because he's like, I'm strong man, lady. Oh, whoa. Boom. Yeah, he held on too perfectly.
Yeah, he didn't land as badly as you think, actually. She landed on her head, and his back of his head just went between her legs, which was like nice and cushioned. And then he just slowly did like a backward roll over her.
Oh my God.
He acted like a big cushion for him, yeah. Look, he ended up on his knees like, ta-da! And then realized she was upside down still.
I was going to see it one more time. These are the things I watch over and over.
I thought she got stuck in the concrete.
Oh, get well, lady. Don't ever listen. If you're even 150 pounds as a chick, maybe not get on somebody's shoulders just in case. Okay. Yep. There's the scientist we talked about. Was this Piers Morgan?
Yeah.
Oh, is it just me, or is this platform being overrun by horribly abusive trolls? So many friends of mine have had enough of it and stopped using X. I'll stay, but I hope Elon Musk does something about the tidal wave of vile filth. It's getting worse and worse. And then Basil the Great says Piers Morgan calling for censorship on X while presenting a show called Uncensored. You couldn't make it up. That's what you pointed out earlier as well.
Yeah. And it to a lot of people, because he is a grey area, is Morgan. There are a lot of people that see him as the horribly abusive troll, and that's all they see him as. So he doesn't get that offence is like taken, and it's subjective, and what upsets one person doesn't upset another. He's just so egotistical with it, I think. I don't think he's daft, but I think he's got that blind spot, and he just doesn't realise he's just as bad to some people.
Yep. You got to have freedom of speech unless you're coming on the Dr. Huge show saying it's bad, because you're clearly a liar if you say that. Clearly lying. How about this, the Taco Bell alien toilet people that Spielberg has? My thing is, I get so upset with stuff lately. I don't even know if I can show it. But it's just like, people are like, oh, he's using real UFO stuff and he's working with the government and blah, blah, blah. Is he? I don't know. Probably. Right? You remember that Isaac Cappy guy? Danny? He was on Periscope hot for a while, calling out all the PDF files in Hollywood. And one of them happened to be Steven. And he ended up dead. He just thought one day, after I said all this, I'm going to go jump off a bridge and get run over.
Right. It's a horribly strange coincidence, is that? Yeah. Yeah, I watched that trailer and I didn't think it was all right, but it didn't make me think, oh my god, this looks like the best film ever. I need to go and see this. But people just go, oh my god, it's Steven Spielberg. He did that film with Drew Barrymore when she was little, and the little girl from the Poltergeist film, and he's good at alien scary films with little girls and scaring them to death and that. So yeah.
Let's check the dabblers real quick. I know we're all over the place, but again, like I've been saying lately, try to keep up, all right?
It's fun. It's like a roulette wheel. It's like when Eric Bischoff was on Raw. I still can't.
Yes.
I'll keep us grounded in wrestling. Eric Bischoff had the wheel in Raw, and it's just like, what are we going to get tonight?
I don't think we're getting any dabbling right now. Too bad. But, yeah, the head dabbler, Stuttering John, he's been putting on some bangers lately, right, everybody? With he's got an Asian lawyer now that comes on through Vince the lawyer, who trolls him all the time. So he's got a little Asian lady lawyer trolling him all the time as well. I know what these people are doing. He doesn't get it. You know, he's like, you're banned, VTL. I hate you. You're the worst person. You're this and that. And then he has him on the very next day. Like, and he's done that several times. He does that at least once or twice a week. It's kind of ridiculous. All right, he sent me a pizza and a 6-pack, so I'll have you back on. Like, that's all it takes. So, yep. Got some dabbling stuff. We'll get that. We're done with that. We could talk about SmackDown last night, but I'm kind of don't want to. And just, it's whatever. You know, Priest is back in the scene. He's fighting with Aleister Black again. He got put through a table. The best thing about last night, I think, in the highlights I saw, was Priest made this face again after he was black masked. So I think he's listening. I told him, this is pro wrestling. This is the best. That's the face I make also when I tell scary stories at camp to all the little children. I put a light under my face like this, and I tell them all the ghost stories. Great face. I love this. Almost as good as this one. See, Cena should have made the Priest face while getting choked out. I would have been better with that. Like, he's just like in shock that he's losing in his last match. But it's almost like he got into that match and he's like, I don't care. I want to lose right now. I'm done with this. And I'm like, that's not cool. That's not how we do wrestling around here, Jonathan H. Cena. So, yep, SmackDown. I mean, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre feud, cares. All I know about this is he gave me another great promo to do this week because he's going, yeah, keep sucking air, Cody Rhodes. Thank you for the content. Nia and Lash in Christmas outfits. It was so weird looking when I first saw Nia in this highlight. I'm like, is that Nia? Who is that? And then she turned around. I'm like, oh my God, that's Nia Jackson, a big Christmas outfit. Yeah, that's it. And MFTs versus Wyatt's at the end of the show, which interests me, but you know, a little too late. Let's get these things going. I know they're beefing. Everybody kind of wants to just see Rowan versus Tala because they're both like damn near 7 foot for both gangs. Everything else seems to be an afterthought, except for, you know, Solo and Uncle Howdy. But they just haven't really done anything with it. SmackDown is going to 3 hours soon. Again, I don't know why, but whatever. Rodriguez got a concussion this week on Raw, or it looks like she did. She landed right into the stairs. Big old knot on her head sticking out like a cartoon. Here's other news. MVP goofs on Triple H again. I mean, this is an every other week story. I'm just keeping up with it now because I keep seeing it pop up in the news. But he called him the nose and said the nose is dictatorial. Not compared to other people in the past, like Vince McMahon, I'm sure he's talking about. He's saying no, Triple H does things his way, which is something I also talked with Jess about Tuesday night, where I'm like, people are saying that Triple H is kind of running this in a Tony Khan type of way, where it's like, these are my toys and I want it to go like this and I want it to be like that. And I want to push these guys and girls. Do you think there's anything to that, Danny?
Yes, but I think you kind of need a bit of that. Because Tony Khan is a bit lax and people will just be able to get things changed, I believe, if they go and pester him and give him the old sob story. Whereas Triple H will be more like Vince, where it's like, no, this is what I've got set in my mind, and I know best. So I can see it happening. Whether or not he's better than Vince is up to everyone else to make their own decision on that. I don't think he's been as different from Vince as he reckoned he would. Remember that? Was it on the Stone Cold podcast? I think it was, where Triple H said the first thing he'd do if he got to take over the company was drop Raw from 3 to 2 hours, because 3 hours is like, who wants to? 3 hours is too much, and now he's putting SmackDown back up to 3 hours after it went to 3 hours, and after Raw went from 3 to 2 and then back to 3. So I think he's learning how difficult Vince's job was. And I'm not saying Vince was fucking perfect, because he wasn't. A lot of the time, Vince was just flogging dead horses, and we weren't wanting the shit that he was trying to sell us. And Vince would still just be like, no, pal, this is the shit. You will eat this shit, and you will tell me it's good shit. And he did that for a long time, so I'm definitely not defending Vince. But Triple H should know better. I think that's the difference. He got to stand back and watch Vince fail when Vince was failing, or not hitting the mark as much. And I think Triple H should have learned a bit more than that. But maybe you just equate success now to how much money they're bringing in with TKO. Because if you look at it through that lens, then yeah, he's way more successful. Because he's just raking in all this fucking cash. So,
what do you think, Vince?
I love black guys.
Oh, you're not Vince. That's Dean Ambrose. What about you, Vince?
It's such good shit.
There he is. That's him, everybody. I know you know that voice.
It's such good shit.
Remember that it's such good shit era? It's a great era. Yep. But how about this Triple H, Alberto Del Rio?
Where all the pussies live, right?
Mm-hmm. In Stamford, right?
A big nose with a small dick.
Ah, the nose. That's right. The dictatorial nose. I would never call you that, Triple H. Never say that about you.
I can't with this fucking thing, Jesus Christ.
A big nose with a small dick.
Wow, no, you coming for Danny now too, Alberto? How dare you?
Where all the pussies live, right?
Yeah, right. You remember that years ago? Him and Paige having a stroll down the street, and she's trying to stop him from talking into the camera.
I remember him getting rough with Lassett anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, not a very high opinion of that fellow, I'm afraid.
Yep. I remember there were people in WWE this year that were like, we want Del Rio. He would be great with us. And then the AAA fans were all booing the champion they have now, Vikingo, right? I don't even know if he's the champion anymore, but they were booing that because they wanted Del Rio back. He's very exciting, this Del Rio. El Patron. How about this story? So there's a fan on eBay selling John Cena Air from the last match for $1,700, I think. Would you buy that, Danny? You want that piece of memorabilia?
No, but if he's got some suckers to fucking give him however much money you just said, then fair play to him. Jesus.
Authentic. It was like authentic Air from Saturday Night Main Event, John Cena's last match. A big Ziploc bag. That's the air. He was breathing that air, kind of. Maybe. Yep. Under $2,000 sounds like a deal to me. I don't know. Yep. And then Julian Edelman from my New England Patriots. I've always heard through the grapevine, being local and whatnot, that this Julian Edelman helps us win Super Bowls, right? But he's also a douche. That's what I've heard. And he has a podcast, just like everybody does. And Seth Rollins was on it. Where are you, Seth Rollins? He was on there having a great old time until Julian Edelman or somebody on his show started saying how wrestling is fake and it's there's no real what's the word he put? There's no real
conflict.
stakes, like big stakes for anything. And Rollins was highly offended. And he's just like, what do you mean? He's like, there's the injuries and the body on the line, and we're making money for not only ourselves but everybody in the business and their kids and that whole wrestler thing when they start getting into how it's actually realer than you think. So what do you think about this when the wrestlers go on these sports shows? Because Seth Rollins, since his injury, has been on sports shows and podcasts all over the place. And, these normies out here, Seth Rollins, they do not respect you. They don't respect the business the same way you do. So he had to enlighten him, I guess.
Could he not just go all David Schultz on him? Or is it, who was it that was saying this to Seth? Sorry.
Yeah. Slap the shit out of the reporter. Yeah. And then Vader, too.
Yeah,
somebody rang somebody's neck with their tie.
Yeah, you're gonna get it, and if it's like a meathead of a sporting personality, then yeah, he's gonna stand up and look down at Seth Rollins and like laugh and be like, yeah, you're not tougher than me. If it was like Dan Severn, Brock Lesnar, you know what I mean, someone that could really pull your arms off, then it'd be good to send them to go and do the rounds. Or just Schultz, just to go and stop slapping people. But I think he's a bit old for that, and John Stossel sort of like took quite a bit of money off him, I believe. Off Vince anyway.
I love it when the wrestlers get like offended by people. Randy Orton he was called like overseas too. Some guy was interviewing him and was like, aren't you fragile, or you have injuries regularly or something like that? And he was pissed. And he's like getting in his face and like, you think you calling me soft and things and all this. And then who else? Trying to think off the top. Oh, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were on a show last year.
Yeah, I
remember, and they basically threatened to beat up everybody, and they could have. And it's good. I like that because it's like finally I start to see these guys and girls start to like defend the business a little bit. Because that's how it should be. But then what's the point now? Shouldn't you just play along going, yep, it's fucking stupid, right? Because they have the Unsomething show on Netflix. Unreal. It's like if you have that show and you're going into a second season of it now, but you're going to get mad at people for not taking you serious, you're showing them that you shouldn't take it serious. And I get it. I understand it very deeply what's going on, but you should still do it like this at face value. Pretend it's real. Go all the way with it because it is to you, right? Or is it not? I'm confused. You're confusing me. And it shouldn't be that confusing. Just stop exposing the business. That should have been the title of today's show. We all know there's phonies out there and they're everywhere, but stop exposing the business, everybody. In all companies, in all shit, all the wrestlers, all superstars, and God, TKO, man. That's why I can't watch Unreal. I won't do it. It's just, it defeats the purpose. What would I watch a show on how they made The Walking Dead if I like The Walking Dead and the zombies and I'm trying to lose myself in this universe, and then I flip it on another channel and go, yep, here's how they put the zombie makeup on, and this person died because he's going to another show, and this, all this stuff. I don't want to know. I don't care. Who cares?
But Triple H has figured out that some people do care. Like I say, he just sits in his house and watches the lasses watching reality TV, gossipy stuff, which is what a lot of lasses will watch television for, and what a lot of them will watch. They won't go out of the way to watch wrestling, but if their partner, for example, has wrestling on, they will put up with it, and they will take what they can from it, which is normally like the little storylines, the angles, and like the gossipy stuff. So there is a market for it, but it just wasn't the wrestling market. It's just we're getting sold something that Triple H wants to sell us in the same or a similar way that Vince is selling us sports entertainment when we actually wanted wrestling. And we used to get wrestling, but then we got Vince's idea of wrestling from what he turned it into after buying everybody, and now Triple H is just selling it to that reality TV sort of thing where everything has us behind the scenes, sort of like documentary based on it. And then there's a behind the scenes documentary on the behind the scenes documentary. And it's just, where does the fucking fourth wall, where was it meant to be? Because we smashed through it ages ago.
Yep. and everybody's getting shipped out here, right? That's what the kids say, shipped. Ship them.
That's not a piss off, you whippersnapper. That's a fucking thing. That's been a thing for ages.
Oh, okay.
I remember getting upset with people when I used to watch the X-Files when I was a kid because people were like, "We're the shippers. We're the Mulder and Scully shippers." It's like, just shut up and watch the fucking sci-fi, dickheads. Christ.
And I think my mom used to do that with Moonlighting in the 80s, right? It was like always trying to ship that Bruce Willis, and then it fucked me up when I saw him in Die Hard. When I grew up, I was like, wait, what? Aren't you the Moonlighting guy? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. This is ancient history, folks. Yep. But all the old people get it. Yep.
I remember.
And then we have Saul Ruka. Here's a Saul Ruka story. You won't hear this anywhere else because I had a Mariah Carey moment with Saul Ruka this week where when I was a kid, I would always see like Mariah Carey in her music videos and stuff. And, they're pushing her to be like the next Whitney Houston and whatnot. And I was like, wow, she has a lot of, and I never thought about these things, even as a kid. I was like, wait, she's got a lot of black guys in her videos. You know what I mean? Like it didn't make any sense to me. And then I learned one day, I'm like, wait, her dad's black or her mom or whatever. And I'm like, wait, what? Because she didn't, because I know I'm mixed, but I'm like, she is? So that was like the first time I learned that like there were many different shades, right? And you could come out any which way. Saul Ruka has a black dad.
Right.
And I went, you knew this already?
No.
I was just like, at first I was like, wait, what? Because she looks like a white girl to me all through and through. And then I went, well, she's like a freak athlete too. You know what I mean? I'm thinking to myself, well, that kind of makes sense in that way because I was always like impressed. I'm like, I've never seen a white girl like be that like athletic in that way where she's long and like muscular, and I'm like, everything just started clicking, and I went, oh, okay. Kiana James, you can kind of tell. You would think she's maybe Latin, has a Latin parent or a black parent or something like that, a little shades darker. But Saul Ruka just looked like a white girl to me. Her dad got full dreads, the whole deal. And I was like, what? Huh? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So it can happen. I remember taking a biology class in high school and learning all about it, how you can literally have two white parents or two black parents and have a white baby or a black baby because one of your ancestors was black or white or whatever. And it would, it causes problems, obviously. And then everybody has to check. And then sometimes they come back and go, this is your baby, dude.
And you still be like, come on, no, check, just, yeah.
But it happens like that. It's very, genetics are weird like that. So,
but you'd still be suspicious, wouldn't you? Whichever way around it was, you'd be like, come on now, because your great grandma was either black or white. You'd be like,
yeah. And a lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah.
They won't even know past, their great grandparents. Most people. So yeah, it's like shocking. I worked with a black guy. His daughter. A black guy and I think a Latin girl. So the baby, either way, the baby came out white, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I think he had to have done a little research on this, right? Had to have, because this was a very black man. And then he was like, and then the next thing you know, this is when the advent of Facebook and things started happening, and he was on there with he's like, this is my daughter. Like, nope, this is like my daughter. Like, she's not adopted or anything. And everybody's just like, what? Like, a blonde girl, like an Aryan baby with a black. It was just so. Shout out to them. Shout out to Saul Ruka and everybody. I mean, my goodness, she's super hot. That's one of the hottest chicks I think I've ever seen in wrestling. Stacy Keibler, Saul Ruka. God, Kiana James is up there too. I think I like them all mixed up too. Mix up everybody, bro. I don't really care. Keep everybody the same, and then mix up a whole bunch of other people, and then we get all the different types. And I'm there for it. Yep. Thank you. I'll take them all. Black, Asian, Latino, anything, any shape or form, as long as they got boobs and butts and things and hips, Dr. Huge is in. Mm-hmm. We're
form an orderly line.
Yeah, so I mean, I got a few more things, but I think we should just end it there on how hot Sol Ruca is. Keep that fresh in everybody's mind. They're strapping the rocket to her. She's gonna be. I nailed it with Tiffy. I told everybody when Tiffy started first coming around NXT, I'm like, she's the next big thing. And I know that's a pretty easy layup, but there were people that were like, no, there's this and there's that, and the wrestling nerds, right? No, there's better wrestlers than her and better people. And it's like, well, look at her. She can move. She's another one that's super athletic. Probably has a black dad, right? So, but yeah, Sol Ruca is going to be bigger than Tiffany Stratton. Mark my words. Yep. So there you have it. Anything else you want to tell the people about? I'm in no rush, but you got anything, any gripes or anything you need to let loose before we wrap it up?
No, I think we cover quite a lot with the comic books. I was appreciative of Spider-Man saving everybody and letting everybody have a chance to be Spider-Man, no matter what sex you are or where you're from and skin color and that lot. So Spider-Man's really doing some great stuff. Yeah, I'm in quite a good mood actually. It's Christmas soon. I just realised that I have a little Christmassy hat, but I didn't bother putting it on. Sorry, this is
don't do that. That's Christmas. Everybody puts the Christmas hats and things. You don't do that.
But it's where is it? It's not a red Christmas hat. It's it's a bloody red. It's a black, like a jester hat almost, but it's got like little bells on the bottom, and yeah, it's my attempt at being festive. People see it and be like, he's made some effort. He's not a complete miserable prick. But
don't you guys celebrate the Christmas monster over there? What's his name?
Santa.
There's a Christmas monster that's from Europe. Krampus.
Oh, the Krampus thing. No, that's pretty new thing. I don't know what sort of like kicked that off, but no, it's not really something I even heard when I was younger. It's just I only really heard that in more recent years. No, it's Santa. We mainly do the Santa thing. We don't. I think you guys like enjoy going out more and doing things just like in public. You go to the cinema and that on Christmas Day, won't you? The theatre, sorry, as you call it. Whereas traditionally we don't do that. You'd stay inside with family and you wouldn't go out and bother people. Again, more modernly, it's not as sort of like traditional as that because people will go out and maybe go to the pub in public, not just with family. But yeah, we don't have Thanksgiving, you see, so we sort of like really enjoy the sitting down with people that we've not seen all year round, or hating sitting around with people we've not seen all year round and having a big fat meal. So we get out of the system like once a year. You get like a test run in November, don't you?
Yes. And then you get Black Friday right after that, which was a thing, and it's kind of died down. Things are changing again. The younger generation's getting older, and they don't really want to do any of this stuff anymore. They're just like, cash it. Can you cash at me? Just send me a cash app for Christmas, for a Christmas present. It's like, that's not how you do things, right? And plus, on our Lord's birthday, when Santa was birthed, you want me to cash app you the day Santa was born. Never going to happen. I didn't know what, and I grew up in religions too. I didn't even know what Christmas was, like really what it was supposed to be, until I was like, 10 or 11 years old. Isn't that crazy? I knew wrestling was fake before I knew that Christmas was about Jesus Christ's birth. I'm not even kidding.
Right. Well, it's easily done because kids get focused on like the present side of it, don't they? So unless that parent's gonna like be really straight up with you, like, and you get to 5 and it's like, no, I don't get Father Christmas doesn't get you those presents. I get you those presents, and you'll be fucking grateful for it. I think you need to give the kids a bit of like.
Right. I mean, I knew Santa was fake and all that by that point. Like I found that out around 5 or 6. But I mean, yeah, I remember even thinking to myself like, oh wow, I'm stupid, huh? I didn't know that. Like when I was in like early mid, I think 6th grade or something. Like, wait, how did I not know this? And I'm like, oh, that's right. That's why there's babies all over the place, right?
So this is the reality that they built this lie on top of. The
Right.
lie is Santa, and the reality is the religious story. I understand it now.
Mm-hmm. And then this music started playing in my head, and I became a conspiracy theorist ever since then. I was like, what else are they lying about? Wrestling's not real, Santa's not real, and Christmas is all about Jesus? What? Yeah, blew my mind. So, yep, we did it again, Danny.
At least I'm making money on these teeth I keep losing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Honest money.
And that Easter bunny loves leaving baskets full of candy and junk food. Yep, love that too. We had plenty of make-believe entities in my life, Danny, as a kid. Yep, still do, I think. You know, I keep that goat's head in the closet there that my bodyguard found a few weeks ago. And he started asking questions. I'm like, let's for the Easter bunny. Don't worry about it. So anyway, yep, we did it all. We said it all. We gave our hottest takes on everything. Nikki Bella's running around here as well. One last thing. Nikki Bella's being called a hooer online by people because she was seen in the locker room at the Eagles game with Cooper DeJean. I call him Cooper DeJean, just like it says. And also been seen around with Grayson Waller. So I don't know. She likes that young meat. You know, she's an old lady, almost what?
50 years.
Almost. So she's giving them the Sunny business, Danny. What do you think about that?
I'm not surprised that she's clinging on in that sort of a way. Don't agree with it, obviously, but I can see why he would as well. He'd enjoy the rub, figuratively and literally.
Get it?
Yeah, it gets him talked about, and then I can't fucking stand her. She was hired at a time where people were like picking the women's wrestlers or the divas based on what they look like in like underwear catalogs. I'm pretty sure that is what Laurinaitis was scouting in and being like, yep, find this lass and we'll teach her to do a couple of holds and throw a couple of punches and we'll stick the Divas butterfly vagina belt on her.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, guys. Just think about it before you start really dating her hardcore. She does like to cook in kitchens, and she will put all the laundry in the same basket. What? And she probably doesn't even have drink coasters, right, John Cena?
A lot of people violate rule number 40 of John Cena's house rules in the living room by forgetting to use drink coasters.
Yep. He brought that up because she always forgets that. So just saying, you sure the boobs are nice and the nice waist and all this. That's all good and stuff. But drink coasters. Think about your furniture. Yep. Anyway, thank you for
I'm not even sure the boobs would be that nice, to be fair, if they've been purchased.
She's getting bigger ones. Have you heard that story?
No.
Because she had a problem with one of her tetas. Piper Niven or somebody landed on her and, jacked up one of her titties.
That'll do it.
And she's like, I'm going to get them bigger now. Usually after an incident, you get them smaller. So, I don't know. I approve it, though. If you're going to get big fake boobs, get bigger the better. Mm-hmm. And Heel Easy says, and might catch a domestic case with her. Let's not forget that one. That's right. Not John Cena. He was way too muscular. He would have given her an AA right through the coffee table, if she didn't keep up with the coaster business. Yep. Maybe an STFU after it, right on the broken wood. And then she was like, yeah, I can't be fighting with John Cena. She's like this other guy that does like yoga or whatever. She probably is just here. Before we end up, just to give you a little Nikki Bella, since it's reminding me of this too. It's got to be here. Hold on. This is a funny little video, a little bit of dabbling. I might have shown it before, but we're going to show it again. Here it is, Elisa Jordana, briefly on the Howard Stern show. They call her a writer and shit on the Howard Stern show. She wasn't. She was dating the writer on the Howard Stern show. That's how that worked. Okay, she is not the writer, and
yeah,
she was in the car with this guy who was like basically, you know, her little sugar daddy. And let's see what unfolds.
Hi, Sarah. How are you? How are you, Sarah? I got Hi. Nudes and, you know, different sentences that he...
Sarah, I'm sorry about this.
Don't talk. Don't fucking talk.
Idiot.
Yes, Sarah, we're really sorry about this. I'm sending him your way today.
That was square, and she slapped him on the face. Like, that was harsh. And watch when he comes back in the frame, how pink his face is.
So, don't worry. But yeah, so... Yeah, he's coming. Don't worry, he's coming home.
Elisa. She just like almost broke my nose. She's gonna get arrested.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Fuck you, cunt. Next time you fucking touch me, I'll fucking dick you. You understand?
No, you won't.
You understand, cunt? Hey, no, Sarah, hang up. These idiots. She posted your fucking number in her cancer Discord, and I would just be polite. Yeah, touch me and I fucking dick your dumbass bitch. I'll fucking dick you.
Elisa.
Yes?
As a woman,
the dumb cunt, Sarah, the dumb retard in the middle of a street session.
Can you please delete my number from the chat?
No, she's a fucking insane person. She's a fucking
50-year-old
dumb cunt in the middle of the street dancing.
Yeah, Sarah, I heard you had a kid when you were 16. That's what he told me about you.
Yeah,
and he said you're a dumb Mexican.
I said she's
and
a dumb
Mexican. And he said you keep showing up. And he says you won't stop texting him, but I saw the text. It's the same shit. Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
She's half your age. She's half your age.
Delete the number, please.
Oh, he's fighting back.
Pull over, dumb.
That's honestly, that's my favorite part of the video. Is just the way he's saying this, trying to be calm, like saying it calmly, but like pulling her hair. And she's in the middle of driving, and they're like pulling over to the side of the road. Oh, he's gonna hear this again.
Pull over, dumb cunt.
Pull over.
No, please don't. I'll stop. Okay, I'll stop.
Pull
Look
over.
at his nose.
Pull over, dumb cunt.
Oh yeah, she fucking got the heel of a palm right on his nose. It was yeah.
He might have had a broken nose. It looks like it. Look how red it is. Oh my God.
No, I'm sorry.
No, call 911, Sarah. Call 911.
No, please.
Hey, at least he's not punching her. He's just grabbing her hair. Here you go. You give her a little Kowalski. He's a little nerdy guy, so he's not going to be doing damage. He might actually be able to take it outside.
He's killing me.
He's killing me. These are adults. Danny, these are adults these days. This is what we deal with out here. Men, we have to deal with these guys and these ladies. And she eventually takes off here and starts running down the street to help people in the street about it. They're in the middle of traffic. And he gets back in and leaves. So, yeah. That could have been Nikki Bella. I don't know. I wasn't there. Was that Nikki Bella and his her ex?
Is that what she's been accused of, that sort of behavior?
I think so.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
I try not to fucking pay too much attention to that shit.
Me neither. Except for that. That's Dabbleverse stuff. I will always pay attention to that. Thank you. More of that, Elisa Jordana. Sure, that's your real name. Yep. Anyway. So we did it again, Danny. We're just the best in the world. Everybody that's watching right now and watching in the future needs to hit the like button wherever you're at. Subscribe on YouTube. The numbers are going up. We are exploding into the new year. 2026 is our year. So you better be on board, be a part of the HUGEnverse, get in the chats on the lives, Saturdays, 3 p.m., Tuesdays at 7, and then other random lives will just start popping up. I do gaming streams, Arc Raiders on Twitch a lot lately. I'm trying to get that 5 million. They make it so tough to go on these expeditions, but I think we might be able to get it done later. So follow me on there later tonight. And everybody have a great holiday. And go follow Danny Damage. Where can we find you, Danny?
DannyDamage.co.uk and at Blunt Damage on X/Twitter.
Yep. So you have a good holiday if I don't talk to you, Danny, and everybody else, of course. We'll be back here Tuesday with Jess. And if she can't make it, I'm still going to go live and maybe do some dabbling or whatever. There's always wrestling news. There's always dabbler news. So until then, folks, thanks for watching. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Heel, Paladin, William Robinson, everybody else that came through. We will talk to you guys next time. Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Hey, go take another hair.